While your definition of success may differ entirely from the next person's, the ingredients of success can be boiled down to 7 transformative habits. By adhering to the 7 habits, you can enhance your personal and professional effectiveness and meet your goals. This is the central premise of Stephen R. Covey's best-selling self-improvement book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. This book ignores trends and pop psychology and focuses on timeless principles of fairness, integrity, honesty, and human dignity. Let's dive in. In order to succeed, we must cultivate habits aligned with the right principles. True success is more than just achieving wealth or fame. Instead, it necessitates personal growth and fulfillment. There are many traditionally successful individuals who struggle with personal effectiveness and relationship health despite their material wealth and titles. Most self-help advice you can find follows one of 2 paradigms. The first is the personality ethic. This paradigm argues that success comes from learning a series of tricks and techniques. It says that if you talk the right way or complete the right tasks, you'll achieve your goals. This advice is attractive, but it's a shortcut, and shortcuts often fail to address the root cause of the problem. The second paradigm is based on the character ethic. This approach argues that there are underlying principles to success. These principles aren't specific to any one situation. They're deep, unchanging truths about the world. If we align our inner character with these rules, we'll achieve lasting results. So how does this paradigm work in practice? For instance, you want a happier marriage. The personality ethic would tell you to adopt a new communication style or take a certain kind of vacation. In contrast, the character ethic encourages you to work on yourself. It says you must become the kind of person who has a good marriage by cultivating a character based on principles like fairness, empathy, and trust. To bring about genuine and lasting success, we need to undergo a paradigm shift, which means changing our fundamental beliefs, assumptions, and values, rather than merely modifying our attitudes and behaviors on the surface level. That's where the 7 habits of highly effective people come in. Now, let's dive into the 7 habits. Number 1, be proactive. Highly effective people make a habit of approaching the world in a different way. They realize that while we can't control everything, we can control ourselves. Proactive people take the initiative. They act instead of being acted upon. Reactive people focus on the things they cannot control and cultivate a narrative of victimhood. Being proactive means taking radical responsibility for your problems instead of giving energy to circumstances and things beyond your control. When you're proactive, you have the freedom to choose how to engage with the world around you and the opportunity to determine your own destiny. For instance, you have picnic plans and it starts to rain. You cannot control the rain, but you can control how you react to it. A reactive person would blame the weather and feel helpless. A proactive person would choose to still enjoy time with friends despite the weather. The point is, with practice, you can foster the power to actively shape your response to any given hardship. When you encounter an obstacle at work or in your personal life, you can choose how you respond to it. You can step back, consider the root causes of the problem, and then focus your energy on what you can actually influence positively. To practice proactivity, make commitments to yourself and stick to them. Change your language from "he makes me so mad" to "I can control how I feel." And convert reactive tasks into proactive tasks. Number 2, begin with the end in mind. Imagine your funeral. All your friends, family, and colleagues have gathered, and each person takes turns delivering a eulogy. What do you want them to say about you? Such an exercise will make the unimportant details of daily life melt away and bring into focus your priorities. It makes you think about your relationships, your accomplishments, and what world you want to leave behind. Considering your ultimate outcome is an essential aspect of organizing your life. It's important to think about the future, as it helps you navigate the present. Think about building your dream house. Before framing the house or putting up the roof, it's wise to draft a blueprint. Without a clear picture of what you're building, the construction process will be a chaotic disaster. You'll make costly mistakes, waste valuable materials, and likely be unhappy with the result. It's fairly easy to apply this principle to short-term projects. For instance, in the professional sphere, it's always smart to flesh out your weekly schedule ahead of time and have clear goals that you'd like to achieve by the end of each quarter. However, the real benefits of this habit come when planning for the long term. To do this, imagine your desired life by crafting a personal mission statement. Do some serious introspection and write out what you truly hope to achieve, what values you want to uphold, and what you see as real success. Use this document to measure your progress and as a guide to help you make decisions. When you know your desired destination clearly, it's much easier to stay on the right path. Break down different roles in your life and list 5 goals for each. This can include personal, professional, and community roles. Define what scares you. Public speaking, critical feedback. Write down the worst-case scenario for your biggest fear, then visualize how you'll handle this situation. Write down exactly how you'll handle it. This will prepare you to stay on your path despite obstacles. Number 3. Put first things first. Putting first things first is the practical execution of habits 1 and 2. You must be proactive and use your guiding principles to determine the most important activities in front of you and execute them accordingly. Be disciplined and manage your time. Determine important tasks and execute them, and prioritize important tasks over urgent but less important ones. There are many approaches to time management. Some favor making lists, others say you should schedule your tasks in advance. But the real secret to working effectively is organizing your efforts by priority. And for this, you can use a time management matrix. A time management matrix is a grid where you list all your tasks according to 2 dimensions: urgency and importance. Quadrant 1. Tasks that are urgent and important, like a sudden crisis that can't be ignored. Quadrant 2. Tasks that are important but not urgent. Think long-term projects like building client relationships. Quadrant 3. This is for tasks that are urgent but not that crucial, like answering the phone. Quadrant 4. This is for everything that's neither urgent nor important, like playing solitaire. Once you've divided up all your duties this way, it's easier to see where to focus your efforts. While the items in Quadrant 1 are important, it's really the tasks in Quadrant 2 that deserve special attention. These are often the most overlooked because they don't feel as pressing. However, they're the most important and often come with the biggest efficiency payoffs. When we focus on Quadrant 2, it means we're thinking ahead, working on the roots, and preventing crises from happening in the first place. This helps us implement the Pareto principle. 80% of your results come from 20% of your time. To focus our time in Quadrant 2, we must learn to say no to other activities, sometimes ones that seem urgent. We also need to be able to delegate effectively. Number 4. Think win-win. Throughout life, we structure our relationships using certain paradigms that shape how we interact. For many people, the dominant paradigm is a win-lose worldview. This means they see every exchange, whether personal, business, or other, as a competition in which getting what you want means the other parties can't get what they want. There is an alternative to this, and it's the win-win paradigm. This worldview ditches competition in favor of collaboration. It seeks outcomes that benefit everyone involved. An abundance mentality is necessary to create win-win situations. Abundance mentality is the belief that there is enough of everything to go around, including resources, opportunities, and success. People with an abundance mentality tend to be more open-minded, flexible, and creative. An abundance mentality fosters collaboration and cooperation, allowing people to work together and achieve success for all parties. In contrast, a scarcity mentality is the belief that there is a limited amount of everything, and one person's success must come at the expense of another. A scarcity mentality limits a person's ability to see opportunities and makes solving for win-win scenarios nearly impossible. Number 5. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. Habit 5 means that you must listen actively and empathetically before communicating your own views. Listen with the intent to understand, not to respond. In doing so, you can cultivate trust and respect with others. Seeking to understand requires being open-minded and non-judgmental, and avoiding imposing your biases and assumptions on others. The result is improved communication, deeper relationships, and more effective collaboration. When it comes to communication, many people offer solutions before actually understanding the problem. Good communication is at the heart of any meaningful relationship. Unfortunately, most people only hone their speaking skills. That is, they seek to be understood. However, that's just half the picture. To really cultivate personal connections, you must also understand. And to truly understand someone, you must learn to listen. One way to do this is to hold off on offering advice until you clearly comprehend what someone is trying to communicate. So instead of replying to an anecdote with a story of your own, try identifying the feeling the other person is trying to articulate. This is called reflecting, and can be as simple as saying, "That sounds frustrating," or "I feel this is important to you." This keeps the conversation centered on the person you want to understand. For empathetic listening to work, you must have a sincere interest in other people. It takes time, effort, and practice to do correctly, but if you try it, people will notice and appreciate your attention. In fact, they'll often reciprocate with empathy and respect of their own. Over time, your relationships will become more open, satisfying, and meaningful. Number 6, synergize. The synergize habit emphasizes the power of collaboration and encourages us to look for opportunities to work together to create outcomes greater than the sum of their parts. The key to synergy and collaboration is valuing people's differences and seeking ways to combine strengths to reach more significant outcomes than one could achieve alone. Synergy can be hard to define, but, put most simply, it is the creative force that emerges when different people are brought together in harmony. The way to encourage synergistic energy is to create an environment in which everyone feels safe and respected. This requires drawing on other habits, like win-win thinking and empathetic listening. When these habits are put into practice, people will be more likely to share ideas, build on each other's contributions, and value the different skills brought by others. To practice synergy, make a list of people who irritate you. Next time you disagree with one of those people, try to understand their concerns and why they disagree. The better you can understand them, the easier it will be to change their mind or yours. Then, make a list of people with whom you get along well. Write down a situation where you had excellent teamwork and synergy. What conditions were met to reach synergy? Ask yourself, how can you recreate those conditions again? Number 7, sharpen the saw. It's easy to get caught up in our work and responsibilities and neglect to prioritize ourselves. Covey posits that we must take the time to sharpen our saw to remain effective. Essentially, we must prioritize self-care. After all, if we aren't healthy and happy, we won't be able to help others. So it's crucial to allocate time and energy to renewing yourself continually in 4 different dimensions. The first is the physical dimension. This means taking care of your body with regular exercise, proper nutrition, and plenty of restful sleep. Developing these healthy habits will give you the endurance to keep operating over the long term. The second dimension is spiritual. Renewing this dimension is all about getting in touch with yourself, your values, and the beauty in the world around you. Each day, take a few moments for quiet contemplation, prayer, or mindful meditation. You'll find such practices keep you centered and ready to handle adversity. The third dimension is mental. Just like your body, your brain needs regular workouts. Stay sharp by always learning something new. Practice new skills, read new books, or try picking up a foreign language. These hobbies enrich your life and keep you engaged with the world around you. The fourth and final dimension involves the social and emotional aspects of your life. Pursuing efficiency doesn't mean you have to sacrifice your social life. Just the opposite, in fact. It's crucial to nourish both your personal and professional relationships. Check in regularly with loved ones, chat with colleagues, and play with your children. If you make a commitment to renew each of these dimensions, you'll continually reap the rewards. With this habit firmly in place, you'll always be ready to act as an effective person. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Keep learning, keep improving, and I'll catch you in the next video.